There's a reason why, over 25 years later, the name Maximus Decimus Meridius still commands a certain kind of silence and respect. In an age where heroes are often just snarky or deconstructed shells of characters, Maximus stands as a towering pillar of something we've almost forgotten how to write: the Paragon of Virtue. Maximus isn't just a cool soldier, he's a walking case study in the relationship between competence, principle, and the burden of leadership. Maximus is, first and foremost, a soldier. He's a physical combatant, a warrior who has mastered the barbaric reality of his time. But what makes him a hero isn't his ability to kill, it's his order of operations. Maximus serves his commander, Marcus Aurelius, but more importantly, he serves the principles that govern the commander. He serves the idea of Rome, the dream of a republic grounded in law and justice. When Commodus kills his father to seize the throne, he isn't just committing a crime, he's killing the principles of the state. Think of this like the Mesopotamian creation myth. Commodus is like the elder gods who kill Apsu, the father, and try to live on his corpse. It never works. It only breeds chaos. Because when you kill the foundational principles of a society, you are left living on a rotting corpse. Maximus realizes this instantly. He chooses not to serve the new emperor because he knows the moral foundation is gone. In modern films, heroes often rebel just to be themselves or because they don't like the system. Maximus rebels because he's the only one left actually honoring the system. The dynamic between Maximus and Commodus is a fascinating study of sonship. Commodus is the son by birth. He has the title, the bloodline, and the crown, but he has no virtue. Maximus becomes the true son of Marcus Aurelius as a consequence of his virtue. This is a deeply meritocratic idea that true authority is earned through strength and moral forbearance, not handed out by status. Maximus has the advantage of virtue, which makes his power legitimate. Commodus has the advantage of birth, which makes his power a hollow, dangerous farce. Modern writing often tries to humanize villains like Commodus by making them victims of circumstance. But Gladiator doesn't flinch. It shows that while Commodus might be pitiable, his rejection of principles makes him an agent of chaos that must be stopped by someone with the strength to do so. Now let's get into the uncomfortable part, the violence. The movie is objectively barbaric, it's filled with endless death. So why do we find a moral framework in someone who spends his life killing? It's because of the soldier's mystery. The coward might avoid the mayhem and the killing, but in doing so, he leaves the world at the mercy of the malevolent. Maximus organizes himself under the virtues of courage and forbearance. He doesn't enjoy the killing, he endures it because it is necessary to protect the principles we talked about. From a grounded perspective, we have to admit a hard truth. Soldiers are a necessity. We have not figured out how to dispense with the need for strength in a world that contains malevolence. The hero who is too moral to fight usually just ends up being a victim. Maximus works because he's a monster who has his sword under control. He's the embodiment of the characteristics that allow you to contend with tragedy and evil in the best way possible. This is where modern heroes fail. Today, we often see heroes who are chosen ones or who have powers they didn't earn. Maximus is different. His capacity as a soldier is a representation of competence itself, but it's competence guided by principle. If you have competence without principle, you get a tyrant. If you have principle without competence, you get a victim. Maximus is the rare archetype who has both. He can organize a legion, he can win a duel, and he can lead a nation. But he only uses those skills in service of the proper principles. Modern writers often inject their own mindset, usually a cynical and nihilistic one, into their heroes. They want to show that heroes are flawed or problematic, but in doing so, they often strip away the very thing that makes a hero inspiring: the burden of responsibility. Maximus doesn't want to be a hero. He wants to go home to his farm. He wants to smell the lavender and see his wife and son. His heroism is a burden he carries, not a role he enjoys. Characters like Maximus are more important than ever. They remind us that strength and morality are partners, not opposites. That true authority must be rooted in principle, not just power. And that competence is a virtue. We love Maximus because he's the answer to the chaos of the world. He shows us that even when the father is killed and the state is rotting, a single person of virtue and strength can still stand and say, "Not on my watch." This isn't just a movie trope, it's a blueprint for how to live in a world that feels like it's losing its way. We don't need flawed heroes who reflect our own confusion. We need paragons like Maximus, who reminds us of what we are supposed to be.